Greetings, all my brothers and sisters, and all you jive turkeys. So, today, Music Monday, except it's not Monday, but I'm sorry, I was working on my car. So, Music Monday. Bill Withers, Ain't No Sunshine. I wanted to talk about this song, A, because it's Black History Month, and we should be highlighting some of the really awesome things that black people have contributed to the culture of the United States of America and abroad. And in my personal opinion, one of the greatest contributions of our brothers and sisters of color is music. Songs like Ain't No Sunshine by Bill Withers have been hugely impactful on my own life, and they've been hugely impactful on the culture and everyone who made music afterwards, and especially in the classic rock and rhythm and blues areas. He won a Grammy for Ain't No Sunshine in 1971, and he won two more Grammys in the following years for other songs that he had that were hits. And he was nominated for many more Grammys. And the reason that I think it's valuable to talk about this song in terms of a writing channel and a booktube channel is because we can learn a lot from studying the poetic prose of rhythm and blues and classic rock and metal, even. In the simple prose and poetic language of rhythm and blues, especially, we can learn a lot about how you can make a lot of impact in not so many words. Be concise but tremendously impactful. Say a lot in not so many words. And it's delivered with beautiful music on top of that. So what's not to like? So, we're going to give the song a listen and we're going to talk about it. Some of the points that I think really merit discussion that you should be including in your toolkit as a writer, and things you should be aware of as a listener and a reader so that you can better appreciate them and understand the mechanics of language better. So let's dig into it.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away. Wonder this time where she's gone. Wonder if she's gone to stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes away.
So, there's a lot to unpack there in that first verse. So, there ain't no sunshine when she's gone. That's such a simple and powerful line all by itself. Think about what sunshine is. Think about what it means. Sunshine is literally the source of all life on this planet. Life is impossible without it. You have to have a star to support life on a planet. At least life as we know it, certainly life on this planet. So, when you say there's no sunshine when she's gone, you're literally saying there's no life without her. You're literally saying without her, there is no life. And that's so beautiful and so impactful. You know, because it conveys the depth of the emotion. It conveys how strongly you feel about this person in a beautiful, simple metaphor that everyone understands instantly. If you understand the language that's being spoken to you, you understand what that metaphor means. Because you can feel it. At least when I feel love, it certainly feels like a blazing warmth in my chest, a powerful, radiating light that I feel towards that person. And when that's gone, it leaves a hole, doesn't it? It's tremendously painful. So it's instantly relatable when you say there ain't no sunshine when they're gone. And it's such a beautiful little bit of simple, concise poetry that sticks in your head because it's well performed. He has a very soothing voice, and it just earworms right in there and sticks. And it's so beautiful, in my opinion. I love it. And then another thing that there's to think about there is some of the greater cultural and historical and mythological implications of light. Light is prevalent in folklore and mythology as being the source of all goodness, a pure force, a purifying force, something that illuminates the world, brings truth, brings justice. So, besides life, when you say there ain't no sunshine, you could also be saying there's no truth, there's no justice, there's no anything good. That's why it's such a powerful metaphor. Again, so much meaning packed into one short phrase. And then he goes on to say, and this house just ain't no home. We've all heard the expression, home is where the heart is, right? And so, if your heart is with someone who is now gone, who's no longer in your life, either because they died or because they choose to no longer be in your life, then there is no home. For where is home when your heart is gone? And again, that's such a simple little bit of emotional reality. It's so impactful, so relatable. And that's why the song hits so hard. It evokes such a powerful emotional reaction to anyone who thinks about it, because these things are so universally relatable. It's a human emotion. And that's one of the powers of music, isn't it? To get at those universal human emotions and make us feel them together. It's one of the beautiful things about music. Let's keep going.
But ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
Right there. That part. That is a beautiful illustration of the power of repetition. They say repetition is the mother of all learning. You've probably heard that if you've ever been to school. But repetition also has tremendous power in human psychology. When things are repeated to us enough, they sink in. Even if it's something we know isn't true, if we hear it enough times, we begin to believe it. Because human psychology and the way our brains are hardwired for survival is repetition. We tend to let it sink into our brains because if something is repeating, we need to know it. And that's at least how we're wired, again, for survival. And that's kind of created this bug in human psychology where if something is repeated to us enough, it begins to affect us in all kinds of profound and strange ways. And it couldn't be more true than with language. And songwriters know that. And Bill Withers, whether he had an intellectual understanding or not, certainly had an intrinsic understanding of it. Because when he repeats that, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know, yeah, leave young thing alone. There ain't no sunshine when she's gone. He's saying there that he knows this is bad for him. He knows that he needs to get over this girl. He needs to let go. And he can't because there's no life without her. He knows that he needs to move on, but he can't. And he's saying so many words there by just repeating, I know, and then repeating one of the main parts of the song, there ain't no sunshine when she's gone. And it's such a beautiful use of repetition and simple poetic prose to illustrate a very deep emotional truth. That's why it's so hard. And the repetition, again, makes it stick in your head. It's an earworm A beautiful, sad earworm. If you're unsure how to begin using repetition in your writing, you're unsure what a good number to use is, how many times on a page you can do it, etc. First of all, a good number to start with is 3. A good rule of thumb is 3. Here's an example. I walked towards her, and my breathing sped up. I walked towards her, and the room sharpened and crystallized. I walked towards her, and destiny was on my heels. 3 repetitions, driving home the intensity of the moment. 3 repetitions, driving home how important to the character this walking towards her was. We instantly realize how strong this moment is in his memory, the depth of emotion he was feeling, and how much of an impact it had on him. The repetition does that. If you're wondering how many times you can get away with it in a page or in a chapter, don't overdo it. Repetition is one of those tools you have to be careful with. It can be very powerful, or it can sink your ship. So I would certainly not use it more than once on a page, and probably no more often than once or twice in a chapter. And my chapters average between 10 and 20 pages. So hopefully that gives you a good working rule of thumb. And if you have doubts, or if you think that it might be obnoxious the amount you've used it, or if you use it too sparingly and you think you could maybe squeeze more in, again, as I've said before, use beta readers, use critique partners. That's one of the main things they can help you sniff out, is when you use a tool too much. They'll say, hey, you do this a lot in your writing, it gets old. That's one of the invaluable assets of critique partners and beta readers. So again, use them. Let's keep listening.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, only darkness every day. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes away.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, only darkness every day. And that's the depression part of the 5 stages, right? She's gone. My light is gone. My life is gone. There's only darkness every day, all the time. Again, just a few words, but it makes you think of the emotional reality. It makes you feel the emotional reality, and it opens up your mind to what it is to go through something like that, what it is to lose someone. And that's, again, why it's so powerful. I can't stress that enough. Using that short little piece of language to communicate a bigger idea, and let the person you're communicating to wander down their own train of thought. That's a tool in your writing kit that you should definitely keep in mind and employ whenever you can. Because when your reader is allowed to go off on their own thought tangent, when you don't hold their hand and you let them think their own thoughts about what you've said, they form a stronger connection with your writing. If they have their own thoughts and opinions and emotions that they've tied to what you've said, then they're going to have a much stronger connection to what you've written. And that's why I have such a profound connection to this song. I've been singing this song at least once or twice a week, listening to it at least that many times a week for 2 years straight now, because I lost someone. And I can't get over it. I'm not ashamed to admit it either, because they were my sunshine. And this song captures how I feel so beautifully and so simply. Let's keep listening.
Anytime she goes away, anytime she goes away.
So we see more of that repetition there at the end. He hammers home the real important emotional reality. Ain't no sunshine when she goes away. Whenever she goes away. Whenever she goes away. When she's gone, there's no light. There's no life. I wonder how long she's going to be gone. I wonder if she's going to choose to stay gone. And that is your whole reality. The wondering, the contemplation, the desire to have that light back. And that's, again, so universally relatable. If you've ever truly loved someone and you lost them, you know exactly how this song feels. You know exactly what Bill was trying to communicate. Bill worked in an airplane factory when he wrote this song. It's a beautiful illustration about how art doesn't come from our betters. It doesn't come from people who were born to famous parents. Art comes from people like you and me. Art comes from people who have depth of emotion and the brain power to express it. Art can come from anyone who has something to say and the will to say it. Bill changed music. Bill changed culture. He influenced people forevermore with what he had to say in his music. When I was a kid, I listened to oldies on 97.3 KBSG. It's a radio station here in Washington. And Bill's music was on that station regularly. And songs like Ain't No Sunshine, songs like Lean on Me, have wormed their way into my psychology permanently. And I'm very grateful for that, because it taught me how to be poetic. It taught me the power of repetition and the power of being concise and simple, but meaning so much by it. Bill was, in my opinion, a very talented musician, and he has 3 Grammys that agree with me, and nominations for many more. I think the fact that he died, period, really fucking sucks. I hate it when truly talented, wonderful musicians, actors, comedians, whatever, have to die. Same with Robin Williams. It sucks. So, to recap. Be concise, powerful in metaphor, using short but sweet metaphor to really convey a strong emotion will allow your reader to form emotional connection and go on trains of thought that they now associate with your work. And that's going to allow you to form a very strong bond with your reader. Also, don't be afraid to use repetition. The power of repetition in human psychology is profound. Cannot be overstated. And those are 2 writing lessons that you can take away from this song that should be in every writer's toolkit. Whether you write songs, whether you write poetry, whether you write novels. I certainly wrote a novel, and I learned a lot about how to do it from men like Bill. And I'm very thankful to him for that. So guys, that's the video. Again, or I don't know if I said it already. Sorry for being late. I had to fix my car, and you kind of need a car. So be well, my friends, and I'll see you next time.